Inclusion Uganda is a disability people's organization working with persons with intellectual disabilities together with their families. It began way back in 1983 by a group of parents who had given birth to children with intellectual disabilities, and they really wanted to come together to find a common solution to what they would do for these children. And it led us spread out in different areas of Kampala. Currently, Inclusion Uganda is working in 3 regions of Uganda, that is Central, Western and Eastern part of Uganda.
After school, I struggled to get work. I suspect that it had to do with my disability and how the employers looked at me. And I lost hope and I didn't have friends. I was invited by Inclusion Uganda in YSA to attend the human rights advocacy trainings. During these trainings, I was empowered to stand up for my rights and for others. And they also told us to become leaders in our communities.
My name
is Nyamwenge Lucy. I come from Agoro South, Merikiti Sub-County. I am 17 years. Before Inclusion Uganda came to Merikiti, I used to stay at home doing nothing. I wasn't going to school. After Inclusion Uganda coming, they trained us on skills for independent living. I can wash clothes, I can keep my body clean. My mother also took me back to school after attending Inclusion Uganda trainings on the CRPD at Merikiti Sub-County.
Nje seru papati chigongo, mbobula seka, nvengo, nkagano gange, abande wange, ensala wange.
Selu Robert is a self-advocate with speech impairment and intellectual disability living in Chiseka Sub-County, Lwengo District. Before the Tofi intervention, his family was not aware that he can be able to live independently and have a family of his own.
In
2021, Seru was able to get married to his wife and together they have 4 children. However, after the Tofi interventions, through the Inclusion Uganda trainings on the CRPD, support and advocacy, the family, together with Selu, learned that Selu has a right to live independently. He also has a right to choose where to live and where to stay.
Never show us Inclusion Uganda. Chinyambi, okusomesa ebyemikono era basomesezza eddembe lyange ery'okweyogerera. Nduwunya engoye mwefuna akasente akasobola okumbeeza.
Inclusion Uganda bwe baamala okutusomesa ne tugamba nze ne bannange abalala ne twetandikirawo ekibiina kyaffe. Ng'ekibiina ekyo kirwanirira eddembe lyabo abaliko obulemu ku bwongo.
Inclusion Uganda we yali tennajja Bombo Town Council baali tebansasula benkolera, naye we natuula mu misomo gyabwe ne batandika okuba nga bansasula kubanga baali bansomesezza omuntu alina obulimu ku bwongo alina okweyogerera.
The activities we do as Inclusion Uganda, we put much focus on awareness raising in terms of human rights advocacy, such that in the future, the numbers of persons with intellectual disability are reduced. Counseling and guidance, this is especially to new parents who have given birth to children with intellectual disabilities, such that they don't really feel like it's a burden to them.
Nazaala omwana ono ng'alina obulemu ku bwongo. Era ssaawa yonna yayiwanga amalusu. Inclusion Uganda tujjeebaza ekoze omulimu gw'amaanyi. Emisomo gye batuwadde era essaawa zino Deriki asobola okutunga ekyalaani kwa namutuuza ne mugamba onoosobola ki?
My name is Magari Samuel. I am 23 years old. I was born with Down syndrome. Inclusion Uganda has helped me I learned in skills like in baking.
Inclusion Uganda eyambye nnyo abazadde ffe, yatuyamba kubanga tusobodde okutwala omwana waffe ono ku ssomero nayiga ebyemikono era kati abekinga cakes nga we mumulaba.
Omwana yali antamye ng'oluusi muyita ekyana ng'akola ebinyiiza. Okuva lwe nafuna emisomo gya Inclusion Uganda nina enjawulo nnene. Yansomesa omwana balina omukwata, yansomesa engeri gye tuyinza okubeeramu n'abantu abo abalina obulemu, nti kati omwana tukkaanya.
We also do trainings on human rights advocacy, where we have had several trainings on the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Intellectual Disabilities. This has been especially to community leaders, parents of children with intellectual disabilities, and the persons with intellectual disabilities themselves.
The coming of Inclusion Uganda to our district, they have done a lot. One of the issue they have emphasized, they have trained us on UN Convention, Rights of Persons with Disabilities. At least now parents, stakeholders, the general community, they are aware. They have trained us on health of our children, how we can live with them, making exercise with them, doing rehabilitation from our families, using our local materials we have. These people, they have trained us on group formation and group management and group dynamics. Now parents have formed parent support groups, and they are one of the major activities they are doing advocacy.
Member ba group ya Rwindi sub-county.
Parent support groups are groups of parents, caretakers, and siblings of persons with intellectual disabilities that have been formed as a result of the Tofi intervention. Parent support groups also give parents an opportunity to use their experiences to help others and provide a place to socialize, connect, and network.
Because they have formed groups, they are now easily accessing government programs like PDM as parents with intellectual disabilities, children or people.
Bwe twamala otegeera abaana baffe abaliko obulemu ku bwongo nti nabo balina omugaso era ne tweyongera obbaagala.
These groups provide emotional support, an avenue for sharing information, strategies and resources.
Inclusion Uganda yasomeseza emisomo nti abazadde b'abaana abaliko obulemu balina okukola ne ba CDOs mu magombolola gye bali. Buli mbeera yonna ebasoomooza balina okuyitira ba CDOs. Era ne babasomesa okwetaba mu bintu nga ebya gavumenti, ebyemyoga, abishimodo biki ebyokubyeteekamu obigendamu. Era ne bawa amagezi okusaba disability grant nga bayitira ku magombolola paka ku district bafuna akasente ako akabaliko obulemu.
Persons with intellectual disabilities are now having families of their own, unlike before. They were looked at as curses in the community. They are now enrolled into inclusive schools and enjoying inclusive education. They're enjoying politics just like any other person within the community. They are leaders.
Now, as the head teacher, initially before this training, I couldn't admit such learners. So, from the workshop, especially after knowing about the CRPD, that is the Convention on the Rights of People with the Intellectual Disabilities, at least now I know that yes, they have intellectual disabilities, but they have a right to attend school.
Oftentimes when parents or guardians of children with intellectual disabilities take them to school, teachers majorly focus on academic learning, yet there are many other essential life skills and values that children can learn from school.
For merit unit.
Children with intellectual disabilities can also learn social skills which involve interaction with peers and participation in group activities. This can help them improve communication, cooperation, and relationship building. Children with intellectual disabilities can also develop personal interests through extracurricular activities that help them discover and develop their talent.